what if a company just published its entire strategy? We're talking its biggest dreams, its deepest fears, all laid out in a 600-page book for anyone to read. Well, that's pretty much what happens when a company decides to go public. And today, we're unpacking the playbook of Indian e-commerce giant Meesho. See, when a company files for an initial public offering, an IPO, they legally have to reveal everything. Their business model, their financials, their secret sauce, and, this is the juicy part, every single thing that could possibly go wrong. It's probably the most unfiltered, honest look you'll ever get inside a company. So you shouldn't think of this as some dry, boring legal document. Not at all. It's much better to think of it as a public diary. A rare, unvarnished look inside the engine room of a major tech company. And it's all in their own words. Now, the official, kind of fancy name for this tell-all is the DRHP, or Draft Red Herring Prospectus. And by peeling back the layers of this thing, we can really start to understand the massive bet that Meesho is making on the entire future of Indian commerce. All right, let's get into it.
First things first, the market. I mean, what is the massive opportunity here that justifies a company like Meesho even existing? Well, it all comes down to a very specific kind of gold rush that's happening in India right now.
The scale is just staggering. India's e-commerce shoppers are set to explode, potentially hitting 430 million by 2030. To put that in perspective, that's more than the entire population of the United States joining the online shopping world. But the real story here isn't just about the sheer number of people. And this slide is where it gets really interesting. Look at these huge categories, right? Apparel, home and furniture. Over 70% of that market is unbranded, or it's made up of these small regional players. This isn't a market of big, flashy logos. It's a massive, fragmented world of everyday stuff.
And that fragmentation is absolutely key. India is not a one-size-fits-all country, not even close. Tastes in food, fashion, home goods, they change dramatically from one state to the next. What's popular in Mumbai could be totally different from what's selling in Kolkata. Now, for traditional e-commerce, this is a total logistical nightmare. But for Meesho, this is the entire game.
So how in the world do you build a business for such a unique market? Well, that brings us right to Meesho's core strategy, what we're calling the Discovery Playbook. Okay, think of it this way. Traditional e-commerce is kind of like a library. You go in, you know the exact book you want, you search the catalog, you find it, you leave. That's search-led. Meesho, on the other hand, is like wandering through a vibrant, bustling street market. You don't really have a specific item in mind, you're just browsing, seeing what's out there, waiting for something to catch your eye. That is discovery-led. And this is how they bring that street market experience right to your phone. It's not a search bar on a plain white page. Nope, it's an infinite visual feed of products personalized just for you. It honestly feels more like you're scrolling through social media than actually shopping, and it's designed to keep you exploring. And the secret sauce making all this work? It's some seriously sophisticated AI. They have something called the Bharat ML rank engine that decides what you see next. They use large language models that can understand what you mean, even if you misspell a word or use local slang. And the proof is right here. Over 73% of all their orders come directly from these personalized AI-driven recommendations. Okay, so the opportunity is huge, and the playbook is pretty smart. But remember, we said this DRHP is like a public diary, which means the company also has to write down its nightmares. So let's take a look at the risks that are hiding just beneath the surface. I mean, the document literally has a section in it called Risk Factors. It's a direct look into what the company is most worried about. It's like a peek inside the boardroom at 3 a.m. So what are the big ones? The biggest one? Trust. In a marketplace full of unbranded goods, your reputation is everything. Meesho straight up admits that even a few viral posts about poor quality can disproportionately influence public perception and erode consumer trust. Basically, a bad review going viral is an existential threat. Next up is a classic dilemma for them: cash on delivery. On one hand, it's absolutely essential for winning over new, hesitant shoppers who maybe don't have or don't trust online payments. But on the other hand, it's a huge operational nightmare. You're dealing with physical cash, fraud risk, and much, much higher return rates. It's a strategic tightrope they have to walk every single day. So let's put it all together. You have this gigantic opportunity, a very tailored strategy, but also some very real, very serious risks. When you look at the whole picture, what does this 600-page document really tell us about the future of e-commerce in India?
For me, this is one of the single most important charts in the entire document, because despite all those challenges we talked about, customers are sticking around, and this is key, they're spending more money over time. A user who joined back in 2022 was spending 1.74 times more just 2 years later. That tells you their discovery model is creating real loyalty, turning casual browsers into valuable long-term shoppers.
And that really brings us to the final multi-billion-dollar question. The entire 600-page playbook, it all boils down to this one massive bet, that a discovery-led model, powered by AI and built for that huge unbranded market, is the key to unlocking India's next wave of online consumers. The playbook is out in the open now, and believe me, the world is watching to see how it all plays out.